Copy. I'm Gabe Santos in Air 7. Welcome to live streaming coverage of a high-speed pursuit out of West Covina. Currently entering in the East LA area, this red pickup truck. Unsure the make and model. Looks like maybe a Chevy if I'm not mistaken. We had a Chevy pursuit earlier, a black Chevy. That one ended in a flat tire. This one's the want for speed, and we've definitely seen that in the first few minutes we've been overhead here. Suspect has not been keeping to one particular lane, and you can see the kind of bobbing back and forth from the number 1 and now all the way to the number 4 lane. We're about 5 minutes away from going live on channel 7, so you might hear me get quiet for a little bit while I coordinate with the control room. Just had confirmation from CHP that the original want is in fact for speed. No mention of any weapon, the air unit saying. Go ahead. Oh. Our assignment desk is mentioning that there might be no plates on this vehicle also. We're gonna get a confirmation of that once we have a better angle. Could mean a number of things. Could mean that looks like that in fact is confirmed. I don't see a plate back there. Yeah. As we look at this red-colored Chevy Silverado. Westbound 10 now. Westbound Santa Monica Freeway. That the missing plate situation could mean a number of things. It could mean this vehicle was involved in a crime, possibly stolen. Taking the plates off is something that often happens in the commission of various crimes. I want to mention before we get too ahead of this that there is a layer of fog right along the coast. So if this goes too far west, it will impact our viewing. The past maybe 20 minutes or so of this pursuit, this guy was staying in the San Gabriel Valley area. So for the sake of all of us who want to see this come to a conclusion and want to witness it, we hope that it stays, let's say, east of the 405. Looks like we're taking an exit here now. Possibly exiting and getting on surface streets in downtown. You know, anyone who's ever watched pursuits with us, we know, oh, getting on the curb there. Looks like a construction zone. Possibly hitting some cones, cutting off traffic, making a right turn now on Alameda northbound. Anyone that's watched pursuits with us, you know that downtown gets difficult. It gets difficult for air units to follow pursuits. It gets difficult for ground units to follow pursuits just because all the traffic. So we're not really in the weeds in downtown yet. We're kind of in the Arts District area. But we'll see what happens here. We're just a few minutes away from going on the television on ABC 7. I'm going to go quiet for a few minutes here. Vehicle has all the lights turned off. Did they switch frequencies? I wonder if they're in the 2 minutes out. The black now. Oh, almost hit a Waymo there. That's a first for me. I've never seen a Waymo get tangled up in a pursuit. Westbound 9th Street. This getting on surface streets now, this may become an LAPD pursuit. The CHP is asking LAPD if they can get involved. There's currently one LA County Sheriff's Department helicopter over this. They still have eyes on it. A scooter crossing the street there. It's going to get dangerous for pedestrians here. Oncoming bicycle as well. Pedestrians in the road. Oh, we're slowing down, making a U-turn. There's a parking structure there, a parking garage. Truck is in reverse. Those scooters there, the pedestrians just looking on, like wondering what's going on. Slow through the intersection, northbound through Main and 7th. Say again, Mike. Copy. Copy. Westbound 5th. Well, you see a glimpse of that vehicle there just through the buildings. We had eyes on this vehicle for a while there. This pursuit started in West Covina, wanted for speed. We believe it was West Covina PD that started the pursuit, and then CHP got involved. CHP pursued this vehicle on the eastbound 10 and then on the westbound 60, and now we've ended up in downtown. CHP has backed off a little bit from this pursuit, but the sheriff's air unit is keeping a close eye on this suspect. But this is what often happens when these pursuits go downtown. You have all these parking structures, you have all of these areas where a pursuit suspect can pull over and get out and foot bail. Luckily, that did not happen right there. It looks like maybe the suspect pulled into a parking garage, maybe saw it wasn't open, and then continued on. So now we're continuing southbound on, I believe that's going to be Grand, passing 9th through downtown. And downtown is just where another U-turn there, and we've seen a couple of these now. This driver, it seems, maybe a little bit unfamiliar with downtown because he keeps kind of hesitating through intersections, kind of unsure of where to go, looking at a few different parking structures. Definitely, it looks like this guy, there's a construction site right there, almost hit a cone, almost hit a couple pedestrians at the intersection of Grand and 8th, making a left-hand turn, looks like into a parking lot right there, and another parking structure. That's going to be CHP. CHP is still the primary on this pursuit. CHP was talking about letting LAPD get involved, but CHP, it looks like, stayed behind this. You have a LA County Sheriff's Department helicopter overhead, and they were able at least to keep eyes on the suspect through downtown. It's tough in downtown because you have all the buildings. It's hard even for a helicopter to, keep visual on a suspect, on a vehicle, but you also have these parking structures. When a vehicle pulls into this parking structure, it's just so easy for somebody to pull in, get out, and run. Luckily, you do have these units that pulled up pretty quick here, and I'm wondering if that CHP unit on the entrance to that parking garage saw anything, or maybe they didn't see exactly where the suspect went, and that's why they're kind of holding off on where to go right now. You still have the air unit giving information to those authorities down below, but that air unit obviously can't see what's going on in that parking structure, and that's what often happens when these pursuits go downtown. You have all these parking structures, and you have an ability for pursuit suspects to pull in, maybe go to a different level of the parking structure, drop the car off, and run. But this parking structure, someone may have walked off into the intersection, I'm being told. This parking structure seems pretty small, so it's not going to be a huge situation for a number of officers to search. I'm being told that somebody in one of the law enforcement helicopters may have seen somebody walk out of the parking structure and continue northbound. It looks like the night sun, Josh, tilt down. It looks like the night sun right there in the center as the sheriff's helicopter comes back around. It was looking on the bottom side of that intersection there for a second. Now it looks like they're kind of drifting back towards the parking structure. So maybe they saw a glimpse of somebody walking out of the parking structure that they are curious about, and I believe it's those two individuals right there that are kind of walking away a little nonchalantly. You never know in this situation. It looks like the Sheriff's Department helicopter is aware of those two individuals and is possibly directing officers on the ground to at least walk up to them and ask them a few questions, but unsure at this point if those are actually the pursuit suspects, the people that were in the vehicle at the time, or if the sheriff's helicopter is going to direct those ground units to go inside the parking structure and continue searching for these suspects. Mark, I'm just monitoring some radio traffic from the LAPD helicopter that has now joined the scene here, and it looks like they are, you know, still trying to gather a lot of information right now, and they are directing additional resources to the scene here. And what they're going to do is they're going to establish a perimeter around this parking structure right now, and then work their way in from there. So they're not just going to barge into the parking structure and just start looking. They're going to establish a perimeter around the area. With 2 law enforcement helicopters now over the scene, one from LAPD, one from LA County Sheriff's Department, and then they're going to work from there. They don't believe that a suspect has exited the parking structure at this point, but you can see there now LAPD from Central Division, they are now on the scene here. They are you know, flowing in on the surrounding streets, directing traffic, and also helping with the perimeter. But CHP has primary on the perimeter, and they are, at least right now, going to try and block the exits to this parking structure and eventually move inside the parking structure and see if they can find anything, maybe find any answers inside that truck if they don't find a person, or maybe they find the suspects that they're looking for still hiding somewhere in this parking structure. Well. Copy. I believe we're still streaming on our alternate streaming channels for ABC 7 Los Angeles. Thank you for staying with us here. You're watching the conclusion of a high-speed pursuit of a maroon pickup truck. Started in the West Covina area. West Covina PD began the pursuit. CHP picked it up, coming westbound on the 60, ending up in downtown in a parking structure where a lot of these pursuits often end up. The driver went into the parking structure, and now CHP has a perimeter around the parking structure. They don't believe the person has exited the parking structure, but they want to get a perimeter in place before they conduct a full search. LAPD blocking streets in the area. This is going to be, Josh, if you could pop up the top of the map for me. Yeah, there you go. 8th and Grand, thank you. That is the general area, kind of in the southwest corner of downtown. A lot of CHP presence in the area. Really focusing on a lockdown of the parking structure for now, and eventually they'll want to move in and search. They have us in a bug too. Copy. Oh. You hear an LAPD Pacific? I don't know how far west we could go though.